Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Mage the Ascension Technogate 1999, where last we had left Technogate Team 42 is that they were inside of the digital web. Well, they were inside of a paradox realm for a little while. They had recently just escaped that, got their admin rights, kind of busted through the video game that they're trying to play in order to get to the node. Um, that is powering the shield around Altered Earth. And they're trying to use it also as a conduit to talk to Tycho's father, who is possibly inside of the Altered Earth umbral realm that exists out there and is possibly involved in some way of building this shield around it. So they've been trying to devise a plan in order to contact his father. And they find themselves right now kind of facing off against a couple of ships that are being controlled by NWO operatives, and they had recently were to hand over the John to them to convince his teammates or to sabotage the ship in some way to get the NPC Mr. Smith over to their ship so that they can do the very final jump into the star system. Um, at this point in time, we kind of see there's the players are on their bird of prey type of looking starship with like a black hole in the very center, um, and kind of facing off against them are is two um, cruiser looking kind of starships. They're a little bit bigger than your ship, but they're lower tech kind of level. They both look like kind of blocky, more of your traditional Terran kind of rotating um, spin to them in order to gain some centrifugal gravity, in the center force in order to create like a form of gravity in the center of the ship. Um, and they kind of are floating just in front of the big giant Stargate that you guys are trying to access in order to get to the final system that'll have the space station you can dock with that has the node inside of it. So let's go ahead and start this on off here. Tycho, go ahead and tell us a little bit about your character and what you look like.
So Tycho Vance is in his mid to late 20s, about 6'1", white, short cropped blonde hair. Now that we're back in our meat bodies, I am wearing a metallic jumpsuit. I usually wear some sort of large, kind of ostentatious goggles. I grew up in Madison, the construct, where my mother was in charge of research and execution. My father was the legendary explorer, the void engineer, Buck Samsonite, who disappeared when I was 8 years old, 19. When I was around 18 years old, I went on a little adventure with some werewolves that ended in tragedy. And when I came back home, my mom got me a job on Techno.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Tycho. And Phaedra, tell us a little bit about your character and what she looks like.
Phaedra Bennett is a 28-year-old black female, usually has her hair in a pom-pom ponytail, usually disheveled, white lab coat, black fanny pack, black slacks. She was originally from Las Vegas, grew up with her single mother, who was a stripper. When she was 18, she tried to get into university to help pay for her mother to get out of the stripping life. In order to do that, she tried to get a job, uh, ran into a shady individual who ended up murdering her mother. So then, for the rest of her life, she dedicated trying to track him down got into occult and scientific work because of it, and stumbled across the Technocracy that way, until recently, where she finally got revenge by killing Muddin. So now she's just part of this group.
Awesome. Thank you, Phaedra. And Robert, tell us a little bit about your character and what he looks like.
Robert is a pretty average-looking late 20s guy, always wearing a suit and tie with glasses. He always has a briefcase on him, kind of medium-length brown hair. Doesn't really stand out of a crowd, but also once you kind of notice him, you're like, oh, okay. Right now, he is currently without his briefcase. I believe it's in his room. But kind of dealing with the idea that he has to come to terms with what he's going to do with the NWO, his technically true employer, and how he's going to kind of handle what's coming.
Awesome. Thank you, Robert. And Malakai, tell us a little bit about your character and what he looks like.
Malakai grew up in a military family, enlisted at 18 with the Air Force. Signed on again when that tour was up, except with this time with the Technocracy. Was fast-tracked to senior staff, we'll say, until he unwittingly made friends that he wasn't supposed to make at a local creative space. The resulting investigation landed him being side promoted to being head of security on a civilian Technogate team called Technogate 42, where he is currently just trying to keep his teammates alive and waiting until he re-enters civilian life. He's 6 foot tall, Caucasian, male, dark hair, dark eyes, has jeans and t-shirt, some sort of lightweight jacket, disheveled hair. Yeah, that's Malakai.
Awesome. All right. And then is anybody not on the bridge at this time? All right, I'm going to take that as everybody is on the bridge at this time. Then you kind of see what you see before you is like the view screen kind of opens up. It's like this virtual holographic view screen that appears, kind of in the center so everybody can kind of see it. And then there's, you can also be looking down at your command console, which is actually not as easy to see. You kind of would have to kind of step back in order to see the holographic view screen that's kind of at the very center of the bridge. But it doesn't matter because you've got the command screen down that kind of gives you the same exact view as what's happening of the holographic picture above you. And what you see before you is the two cruisers kind of hanging out by the Stargate. And then there's a wideband broadcast that's being sent out by them that basically says, surrender Johnson by order of the I'm trying to think of if it would be coming from an order from, I'm just going to say the NWO. By order of the NWO, you are to turn over the computer program, Mr. Smith. And
Mr. Smith is an American sitcom that aired on NBC from September 23rd to December 16th, 1983.
thank you, computer. Just in case you all didn't know, my computer wanted to just let you guys know what Mr. Smith is based after, I guess. So. All right, so do you guys reply with a broadband response, or you can narrow beam, hail, direct hail them, or you can not respond, or how do you guys want to kind of respond at this point? And then, of course,
Well, what's the rest of the situation? Like, is Mr. Smith like? Are we is he initiating the opening of the final piece of this?
No, you need to get within 2 kilometers of the Stargate in order for him to initiate that. Currently, you are about 100 kilometers off from the Stargate and moving in. They are at about 50 kilometers away from you. Your guns and weapons are usually starting becoming effective at about 30 kilometers, and it looks like that's about the same range that they have. So you're about 20 kilometers away from weapon range right now. And they stand between you and the gate. And it is 360, so you could try going around them, but because their centrifugal, the amount of space that they need to transverse in order to always be in front of you is much smaller than what it would take you because you're farther away from the object. So
How long would it take for me to run from the bridge to the engine room?
you could be immediately teleported there within a turn, 3 seconds.
If that was to happen, is that something that somebody else could detect if it's inside of the ship? Like, would they be able to tell that somebody just teleported from the bridge to the ship, the engine room?
I mean, if they're doing intensive scans, but you don't see them doing those kind of scans right now. They would also have to be like scans that penetrate through your guys' shields, which is not normal. So if they do have
Alright.
some enlightened individuals, they might be able to do that, though.
What's your idea, Malakai?
Go sacrifice the engines. By that I mean make them look like they're fucked up. We continue to drift past them. The whole time you stall them on the basis of authorization and chain of command. Like, how are we supposed to know that they supersede our orders from our commander? And then we just basically drift past them. And then if we can get any amount of leg on it, or, if it goes hot, we just switch it back. But then we just basically try to distract until we can get close enough to have him start doing his job.
We could.
I will prepare for this plan. Keep me informed on cons if you guys decide to do something else, and I will hit the button and
Just tell them no. We have the same orders that they have. Why should we relinquish them when we have the same mission?
Yeah.
Malakai,
The encoded message that I received, was it from them or was it from like someone that I would be familiar with as like a contact that's above me?
So this came from your direct superior, the only one that has basic contact with you right now. So you know that your direct superior is probably on board one of these starships.
Yeah.
Play dumb. You didn't get the message.
Having actual engine trouble might alleviate our requirement to stop for them to sort out who has actual authority here. But it also might give them credence of like, well, you got engine problems, you're not going to be able to finish, give us the damn guy. As I'm booping and bopping on the terminal.
What's the threat assessment? Their weapons versus ours.
You're looking at a pretty rough fight, especially since there's a possibility the ship that had been following you does have a cloak on it. So it's possible that ship is also around here. Against these two, you would probably win out. But if that other ship shows up, it is a jamming ship, and it will force you to engage it over the other two. And depending on the designs that it kind of has and the possibilities, that could tip the scales of battle quite drastically.
What's the status of our backdoor admin access compared to theirs?
You have about equal access to the systems as they do, and it kind of puts you guys on an equal footing.
Okay.
Because it is super important for the lie that I want to work on to have any kind of standing, I'm going to use forces to make the engine look like it's unstable Um, But one of those. It's like it's at like 105%. That's probably it can handle that. It's not good for it, but I'm not actually doing that. I'm just making it look like it.
Give me technology plus intelligence to lower the difficulty, and we will do a base difficulty of 5 on the Arate roll that you'll have to do. But you can lower that with computers pets plus technology difficulty of 6.
He's done with that. I've got a thing that I want to try.
Any chance I could do wits and technology instead of intelligence as I'm doing it fast?
Yeah, I will take that argument.
Okay.
Well, that's one thing that I really liked about there's some things I might end up adding into my game. One thing is I'm gonna institute this right now. Actually, if you guys have 4 in something or more, I've been foregoing the specialty kind of stuff. Okay, your 2 successes there will be solid enough for you to kind of disguise the engine as making it definitely look like there's like an overload that's kind of happening.
It's a concern. It's a concern.
Right, like it's a slow build up, like the engine's slowly going critical. But if you do want to, if you have a 4 or more in anything besides spheres and backgrounds, but basically abilities and attributes, those 2 things, you can put a specialty onto it. Before it would make you get, that's what did the exploding 10s, but I always just say I like exploding 10s period, so I keep that for all rolls, but that also includes your NPCs. But I never thought of what to do with that specialty, but now I have something for it. +1 die. You get a whole extra dice added on to, just for your specialty though. So it's got to be, if you're trained in rifles, it's got to be rifles with your gun. If you pull out a pistol, then you don't get an extra die.
Something tells me that it needs to be specific, like rifles and not firearms in general.
Right. Well, your ability will be firearms, so what it has to be a subcategory below that.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool.
All right. So what's the outcome of his?
The outcome of his current action that he was doing is that he's making it look like the engines are overloading, and he did not botch in order to make the engines overload. So you're all good there.
Okay. So I've got a preliminary question for my thing. Can I talk to Mr. Smith? Like, can I ask him questions?
Absolutely.
Okay. Mr. Smith, you said that we need to be within 2 kilometers of the, is it a space station or a Stargate?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Is it a space station or a Stargate?
It's a space station is where the node is located.
Okay. But we're trying to get through a Stargate, and that's what he opens, right?
Yep, the thing between you and the station that you're trying to get to is the Stargate, basically.
Using our current level of backdoor admin access on this simulation, can I change the location of the Stargate?
No, you don't have that ability.
It would kick us out of the instance anyway.
You could combine what you have with high levels of forces, basically. You don't really even need matter for that because it's not built out of matter, it's built out of data. So high levels of correspondence and forces probably would be able to do it, or even just high levels of forces, or just extremely high levels, like a 5 in forces or a 5 in correspondence. I'd let you just jump over.
Would a 3 and a 1 work?
Remember, you do get correspondence boost here, as well as a prime boost, as well as a forces boost. I believe you get +1 to all of your stuff.
So a 4 and a 2?
So 4 in correspondence, 2 in forces. I think I would allow that. Yep. And then anybody that can have force, or anybody that has 1 dot in forces or correspondence could assist.
I can assist.
So what exactly do you want me to do, Tycho?
I want, instead of that Stargate being over there, I want it over there.
Okay.
I mean, it's a
So you wanna
simulation, right?
so you wanna make it appear, I mean, yeah, it's simulated reality basically.
I mean, these dum-dums in the NWO keep thinking of this place like regular, outer space. They forget that things are only where the simulation tells them to.
Well, you're also, well, it depends on how enlightened Robert's direct contact is, or superior, which probably would be, normally I would say would trump you guys, but that's, you guys have grown a lot since, and the likelihood that the superior of Robert this entire time has grown is very unlikely, just because that's how it goes for NPCs sometimes. So it's possible you guys trump him in the enlightened realm.
Yeah, so while they're doing that, I'm going to open a channel to that NWO ship and start stalling.
Okay. I'll hop on a computer and try to get the coordinates in the formulas correct.
I'm gonna quietly slip off to my room.
All right, so you're just gonna head off to your room, Robert. Is there anything
Yeah,
specific that you
I'm
wanted to
gonna
do?
I'm gonna do a direct hail from my room.
Do I notice him leaving?
Perception
Roll.
plus alertness. Difficulty of 6. You only need 1 success, but unless you're being really
Well,
stealthful about it, Robert.
I kind of I kind of want to roll against it.
Yeah, roll off then.
Let's do it.
Difficulty 6 for both of you on perception plus stealth plus dexterity.
Oh no,
Perception plus
You
alertness.
didn't see anything.
I didn't see shit unless he botches.
Unless I really mess up and trip over myself. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. So you didn't botch, but you got 0 successes because you got 1 success and a botch. So you're good on not botching. So you didn't smash your eye into like the wall, the corner or something. And Robert just like kind of sees all this kind of going on because you're directly like the thing you're doing is talking into the comm. So I can see how you're just looking. You're not paying attention to what anybody is doing around you at all. You don't care about that. What you care about is focusing in on, convincing this person not to shoot you down while you guys kind of set yourselves up. All right, so Robert, I'm gonna allow you to kind of sneak away. And the way that I'm gonna do this is I'm gonna go Tycho, and then I'm gonna go Phaedra, and then I'm gonna go Robert for the rules and actions that you're going to be taking here. Because Robert's gonna take you a little bit to get down to your quarters. And so Tycho, you kind of open up the direct communication here in order to kind of stall them. How do you open up your hail?
Do we know the name? Have they said their?
Yes, this is the USS Hannibal.
USS Hannibal. This is Tycho Vance of the Orfeo. You wanted to talk to me?
We have directives that state that we are to take on the cargo from here, and he sends over a file transfer over to you. Do you accept the file transfer?
Quarantined, yes.
All right, you quarantine it and scan it. Nothing comes back as bad, and it's
Okay,
just
I open the.
it's just orders from control. He says, I don't even have the ability to see exactly what you're seeing right there. But those are my orders: is to hand over that file to you and then to retrieve Johnson.
Can I cross-reference what he just sent me with the orders that we have?
Yep, and when you cross-reference them, both of them come up with the same kind of like resonance of control. Has the same kind of setup and everything, and all the authorization codes are correct.
Shit. Well, that's a mystery for another day. Yes, USS Hannibal, I'm going to have to take a couple minutes here to review this and cross-reference them with our own orders. I think there might just be a misunderstanding here. I think we can get this worked out in just a minute. As you see, we've stopped. So let's just, figure, everything's good. We'll get back to you in just a sec here.
Okay.
I don't even think that's subterfuge. I think that's true.
Yeah, I think you're fine with that. He takes you at that at this point. And then Phaedra, what are you you're building up to try and teleport this goddamn crazy Stargate across the 1,000 or 100 kilometers that you are away from it to make it 2 kilometers from you.
Yep. I do the coordinates and figure out the space between us and the gate, and then where I'm going to move the gate. It's like getting my parabola theories all in order.
Give me an intelligence check with just straight intelligence, difficulty of 6.
Okay, hold on. Or successes.
With 4 successes, I'm going to say that yeah, you kind of do the calculations and you're like, it'd be a lot easier just to teleport us to the gate because the gate is huge.
Yeah, do that.
So with that, I would say that it's going to be pretty easy to kind of teleport you. You're going to need 5 successes in order to pull this off.
Okay. And
You,
what's the
of course,
difficulty?
can roll multiple times. Base difficulty is 7.
Can I use intelligence and computer roll to lower the difficulty?
Yes, you would definitely.
Okay, I'll start off with that then. Okay, that's 3 successes. That lowers my RT roll to 4, correct? Or no, 5, right?
Yep, 5.
I'm going to spend a willpower just in case. That is 3 successes. And then if I roll again, what will my difficulty be? 7, or will I maintain that 5?
I'll allow you to maintain that 5.
Okay. How much willpower do I have? I'll spend one more just in case. I don't want to have another black hole phenomenon.
Well, you didn't botch.
Is that one success?
And you got 1 success because of the willpower.
Yeah.
Well done.
All right, and so that puts you at 4 successes. You still do have to roll one more time.
I don't have any more willpower, so I'm gonna just do a straight up roll.
Oh,
Okay,
Wow.
4 successes.
All right, you have the procedure all programmed. All you have to do is press a button, and you can teleport the ship within 2 kilometers at any time.
Tycho, whenever you're ready.
Good job, Phaedra. I believe it's somebody else's turn now.
Yep, and then Robert, you are up. So you end up in your quarters, and you can get a tight beam. Are you directly contacting your superior, or are you just beaming
Yes.
the ship?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna make an attempt to directly contact him.
Okay. Your superior answers. He looks to be on the bridge of the ship. He's all decked out in naval gear. Kind of looks kind of funny because you know he's not a naval guy at all.
Sir, reporting in. I would like you to know that we are seeing a rousing success with our new direction. We're close, and I'd just ask that you trust us to finish this out.
I have my orders, son, and so do you.
I would never doubt control, sir, but I believe after the last experience that Tycho Vance may be more of a key to this than we originally thought. I don't know that I can, with good conscience, send you in there.
What's this new information that you have?
It seems that his father may have made sure only specific group of people could access these nodes, and I believe that I may be traveling with one of them.
Go ahead and give me a subterfuge plus manipulation difficulty of 5. You put some good role
Good
play
luck,
into that.
buddy.
Subterfuge and manipulation, you said?
Yep.
Crap.
You can
Not
also
charisma.
you could I would allow for a charisma instead of manipulation. Also, if you can think of any way to of how your magic you could do the opposite of what you guys have been doing, which is use your arete to lower the difficulty on a normal ability and attribute roll. But you'd have to think of, which is pretty much I mean, you've got mind to 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely ways of, you can kind of, you could almost make it so that in your brain you're now 100% believing this, so it makes it much more of a even you could almost switch it up from a charisma, you lower the difficulty and make it a charisma plus like etiquette or charisma plus something else that you're good at, that social expression or
Charisma plus investigation.
Oh, that's a good argument. Yeah, I would allow that, but you'd have to do that with a mind thing, because then I'm gonna say that you kind of give this whole spiel of your investigatory actions that you gave.
Yeah. I mean, I'm basically filling in all the gaps for the last however long, and I'm making up half of it because I don't want to pin this all down on Tycho and run the risk of them just like taking him. But I want them to feel like he's a key to this, but that to get him to cooperate in any way, they have to let us maintain current course.
All right, do Arate difficulty of 6. You can lower this with you can't do the ability attribute roll because you're using your Arate to do the ability attribute boost. But you can use quiescence and willpower on this roll.
Yeah, I will use a quiescence to lower it to 5. Two successes.
Hell yeah. All right. So then your difficulty now is 3, the lowest it can be for the
Charisma investigation.
Charisma investigation. You charismatically investigated into your brain.
1, 2, 3. I got 2 successes.
All right, 2 successes, and Wow, man. Unbelievable. Look at 3 2s. That's retarded. um, anyways, yeah. So, with 2 successes, I'm gonna say that he kind of says, "All right. I tell you what. I will allow you to continue this investigation undercover. However, if you're so we won't fight you or attack you, but we will continue to pursue our orders as directed through Tycho, to try and get Tycho to turn over and give us what we want. But we won't force you to sabotage anything at this point. But we also are not going to fire upon you.
Not just gonna let us walk through, but yep, I get it. I get it.
We still have to.
I mean, we
still
have
to
our
follow
orders.
right? All right.
Yep.
Well, thank you for the update, and I will also get that information logged. Thank you.
Thank you. I get on the comm right away, and I say, if you guys have anything planned, we need to do it soon.
So punch it.
Will do. Yeah, I guess so.
I
Unless
hit the button.
I don't want to do a one-liner at this captain.
Sure.
I
Just
open
give me the
comms.
nod and I'll hit it.
I open the comms and I'm like, hailing the USS Hannibal is Tycho Vance.
USS Hannibal answering.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Yeah, we're having all sorts of problems with our sensors. Oh, there's all sorts of weird shit going on. Are you seeing this? And I nod at Phaedra to hit the button.
I hit the button.
It's like, we're all over the place. And then I don't know, flip him off. We floated. I tell Mr. Smith to act portal.
All right. So the portal activates, and when the portal does activate, you kind of feel like you're stuck now in between the states of energy, which is kind of really weird. Like, it makes a lot of sense when you're not physically there, but now that you guys are all physically there, there is some kind of weird, like, transitional state that you kind of felt every time that you jumped through the gate, but now it feels like you just got stuck in it. All that you kind of see around you is this sparkling energy, basically, around you, like a blue-white kind of hues all around. You don't have hands or a body anymore that you can kind of see or feel, and you can basically just kind of see and kind of hear around you, but there's nothing but this dark blueness, or this like light blue that's kind of hues around you. Everybody make a perception plus alertness check.
Three.
2. Oh shit, Robert.
Wow, that's 8 successes.
Yeah.
He saw the universe be born.
I felt good
Oh, you
about
saw
my
the
4.
tech knife.
A solid 4 from Malakai. All right, so starting off, Phaedra, you kind of get what I kind of have given you, that there's kind of like light blue hues around. You also kind of get a small feeling of off in the distance there is a like black sphere that's kind of like hanging off in the distance, but you don't really, it's about all that you kind of get. It's really hard to see, it's really far away. Tycho, you also see the dark sphere up in the sky as well. And then you can kind of see that there are like other uh, distortions in the the hueish background that you're kind of seeing, but you can't really make out what these distortions are. Malakai at 4. You're starting to make out that there are 3 other humanoid-looking kind of distortions that are also here as well. And you kind of when you kind of wave, if you try and wave your hand and stuff like that, you kind of start seeing that you kind of are a distortion. So you're kind of seeing that these other humanoid distortions are possibly your other friends. Robert, yep,
is the ship gone at this point?
the
Like it's
ship
just
is gone.
yeah, so we're just like in space in this kind of altered state.
Yes.
And that's okay, cool.
And then Robert, with your 8 successes, you kind of make out that you can even see in the distortions you're like, oh, that's Tycho, that's Phaedra, that's or that's Malakai. You get a really strong, a good look at the spherical object, and it looks to be much bigger than it's way off in the away from you, like hundreds, thousands of kilometers possibly. It might be the size of like a small moon.
I try to call out, that might have been a bit hasty of us. Does any noise come out?
Yes. You kind of it's kind of like sound, but it's definitely not sound. And then it's more of like your thought kind of went out. And Phaedra, Robert, and Malakai, you can hear this, but your thoughts aren't broadcasting all the time. You kind of had to do the like, pretend like you're talking, and then it sent off the thoughts that you were talking.
Where are we?
I'm not sure.
I try to put my hand on Robert's shoulder. Does it go through it, or does it?
So you
connect
are
them?
all quite a bit of ways away from each other right now, but you can make your way over towards him pretty quickly, and you can also use correspondence if you want to just teleport to him.
I guess the actual question is whether or not forces would work. So I'll try to like forces push my way over there.
Okay. Just give me an Arate difficulty of 3.
Okay. So much tripping. Nice. 4. Yeah, that should be a straight 4. There's no.
Yeah, so you pretty much just are able to get right up to him pretty quickly without a problem. So you've kind of got a feeling for navigating in this like energy form that you're in currently.
Wow.
All right, I'm gonna hook my arm around his waist and be like, "Don't worry," and then I'm gonna motor over to the other guys, and I'm just gonna collect everybody into a group.
Okay. If you do that, then I want to use my correspondence to get a grasp of, or try to triangulate where we are or what we are.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a Arate difficulty of 3. Everybody can make this roll if you wish. Kind of try and orient what the fuck is this place.
Does my correspondence still have a modifier where we are?
Yes. Yep. You guys are still amped up on your inside of the digital web, and you're still part of in the digital web right now.
So that gives me add 1 mod.
I got 5 on my what the hell is this place roll?
Jesus
Same.
fuck.
Rat.
I'm assuming that I'm going to be motoring myself around for this, so I'm gonna skip this roll.
Also, I thought you said we didn't have hands or bodies.
You didn't, when you initially tried looking at yourself, if you didn't move very much or try and really kind of get yourself to see the distortion, you don't see it. So it looks like you don't have a body until like you start moving and start noticing the
Start using the
distortion.
energies.
But if you're like looking around and not even seeing your hands and stuff like that, normally you don't really notice it. And when you like, you kind of have to really try and be like, okay, where the fuck's my hands? Like,
I'm gonna be honest, that'd be pretty disorientating for me. I'd just like move my hand in front of my out in front of me, and then not seeing it, and then looking for it, and it's not there. That would be. I'm not used to that experience.
talk about ghost limbs, man.
Can I will myself into a different form?
Oh, that's a good question.
Here are we.
Yeah, you probably could. Well, you're physically there, so do you have life of?
Oh, never mind.
I do.
I mean, you could probably make your distortion more like you though with just forces of 2.
Can we move around in this space using just like thought, or do
Yeah.
we need forces for
No,
just thought?
just thought, but in order to kind of grasp it first, I kind of had Malakai do that, but he can kind of teach you guys just how to move around.
I would
Basically.
just say have Malakai grab us all, and then I can just do short teleports to where we need to go.
And we're looking for a station, right?
Yes.
Because that thing out there looks more like a moon.
That's not a moon.
Yeah,
No
what did we
moon.
get back from our correspondence roles?
Yes. So the correspondence rules kind of gets you that you are still inside of the game here. Basically, you are in the state that they have for transporting people between the stars. Basically, it's the energy form that your icons turn into when it teleports from one star to another. Basically, and that you are trapped in some kind of in between state at this point. And then what you are getting is that big giant thing in the sky is scanning you, and all of you kind of have to like tune yourselves to a certain degree. Basically, at this point, you know that you can easily just exit out of the game, and that basically something went wrong. What you guys kind of did is basically by
We
using
glitched
admin
it.
rules and stuff like that, you guys didn't do the game the way that it needed to be done. So this is a fail-safe mechanism that stops you, but there's a different thing that you've gotten into now. So you can either leave and try and go do the game over again, or you can continue and you feel like there's something to deal with that big giant moon in the sky. That if you go to it, that there might be another quote unquote part of the game that you can play in order to forgive your mischief actions.
Yeah, well, we're obviously gonna.
We're gonna double down, right?
Oh hell yeah!
Okay.
Yeah,
So
we can't go back now.
So we've gathered that we need to morph our frequencies to not be alerted by the thing. Is that what you're saying?
After a while, like you feel like you can kind of bring yourselves more in tune and kind of bring fix kind of like Tycho was talking about, but not trying to make yourself flesh and blood, but just tuning yourself kind of properly and then making your way to the distortion. And once you finally like tuned yourself where you have ears, you can start hearing what's kind of being said by the moon. But it'll be an Arate roll. You need forces of 2 at least, and it's an Arate roll difficulty of 3.
How
Just
use
to tune
life?
yourself. No. If you do not have forces, you have to get somebody to do it for you.
Oh yeah, we get the modifier, so I do have forces too. Okay.
Yep, you get +1 to your forces. So
I can do it too then. And it's just an arret.
yep, Arret difficulty 3. No need to lower the difficulties. So well, Phaedra, you didn't botch.
It's not a
so-
fail, right? I mean, yeah, it's not a botch. Could I try it again at difficulty 4?
Yep.
I got 3.
All right, Malakai and Tycho, you're able to transform yourself, no problem. Phaedra eventually gets there without a
My
problem.
second roll will be to get Robert.
Mine cut out. What's the roll? Sorry.
Just Arate difficulty of 3.
Okay.
But I think Malakai just did it for you.
Yeah, because I have forces. So
Oh, there.
Oh.
He's like, I don't need your help. I got 6.
So Malakai, I'm gonna say with your extra roll, you're just reinforcing everything. So once you guys kind of tune yourself that you have a body, you can start seeing yourself. You start getting back these senses of hearing, and you're not just speaking through thought anymore. You can kind of hear there is a blaring, and once your eyes come back in, there is like a light that's like pulsating, a red light that pulsates from this black moonish thing in the sky. And you hear alert. You have been caught. You've been caught cheating. You please exit to the left or arrive at the moon for your punishment. And you see like a door open up or like kind of materialize.
Guess we gotta go to the moon.
To the moon!
the punishment?
First off, prepare stuff just in case we gotta fight. Getting my DNA files and stuff ready, getting some bandages ready to go. All right, let's go.
When you
Do I
guys
have a laser gun?
sure. Yeah, you can make it that you have your laser gun.
Cool.
So you guys arrive on the moon, and when you guys kind of land on it, there's like a small portion of it that kind of opens up, and there's like a tunnel that, or like, you know, a staircase, or not stairs, a ladder that goes down deep down into the crust of this moonish, which is when you guys land on it, it's basically one gigantic ball of iron and lead and shit kind of like just twisted and turned, so it's the ground when you kind of land on it is all kind of beams of weird, you know, blackish looking steel and iron and lead. Don't lick the walls. Do you guys go down?
Can I
Back
do?
down.
Where it wants it.
I check the entrance to see if like there's a mechanisms that closes the door if we go down.
Yeah, there is like it kind of like opened a hole, like, you know, like the, you know, talons kind of pull out, and there's like, you know, and there's a hole that kind of opened up, but you can see that it would re-shut as you guys go down.
Anybody with correspondence want to work with me on a program to map the interior of this place via correspondence and matter?
Sure.
Because because matter could see through material, like walls and whatnot. Am I correct in?
Well,
No,
it's
you
not
don't-
made
you don't
out
have
of
one.
it's not made out of matter though. It's technically, I mean, it looks like it's made out of matter, but it's actually made out of energy.
So
It's,
prime would work then.
forces.
Okay, forces. I got a forces 4 right now, so I'm ready to rock out with forces.
Okay, and then I can help amplify that with correspondence.
Yeah, to get the distance that I'll need, or that'll help.
All right, go ahead, give me an Arate roll difficulty of 3.
I forgot that we're not supposed to help each other with our ret just because it can make paradox vicious.
All right, I got. We're great. We're freaking awesome. We're an awesome team.
Yep.
Yeah,
So that's 9.
9 total.
9 total. Yeah, so you guys kind of map it out, and what you kind of see is that the chute that you're going to be taking actually takes you to the very center of the planet, but it only take you like 30 seconds while you're climbing down. So this kind of tube kind of takes you to the very center and has just a center room at the very center. The whole thing, other than that, is one giant computer.
Okay.
Gives me some really bad ideas.
Yeah.
I mean, let's
Let's go down.
let's not do anything stupid and just go down.
All right, so I'm gonna say that we're going to put a little cut there. Is there anything that you guys want to do before going down, though? All right, so we'll go ahead and take a little 10-minute break here and pick it back up with you guys at the center of the giant machine computer moon.
All right, I just wanna, for color, I'm gonna be 4 steps in front of everybody else, keeping an eye out for problems. Even though I'm pretty sure we're at a stage if we run into a problem, a gun isn't going to help. But still, it's force of nature.
All right, we will be right back. All right, and welcome back to Technogate 1999. Where we left off, the Technogate Team 42 was entering into the center of a gigantic moon-sized computer. They are at the very heart of it at this moment, inside of what looks to be like a 20 by 20 box room. And there is a table that's about, enough to seat 8 basically, or well, 10 I guess altogether. So there's 4 seats though that are on your side, and then just 1 seat on the other. Do you guys go and sit down in the seats, or do you stay standing, or how do you guys orient yourself? Basically the walls and everything are just smooth, what looks to be chrome walls and ceilings and flooring. It's all got like a light hue that's coming off of it, so you can see everything.
I really
We
want to
like
go.
just kind of appear here.
You guys kind of crawl out of a shaft basically that kind of comes down in here through like a ladder, and when you guys kind of drop down, the wall seals up.
I really want to sit in that solo seat on the far side, just to. No, let's not do bravado displays at this point. I'm going to stand patiently back. I'm not going to sit down.
Yeah,
Oh
no,
wait, there's 4
we're
seats and
here
there's 4 of
because
us. I'm going to sit down. Never
we're
mind.
here before we broke the rules. We should probably try to respect this space.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take one of the center of the 4 seats.
I'll take an end.
I'll stand next to Tycho just in case.
And Robert?
Will take a seat, I suppose,
Okay.
next to Tycho, if possible.
Yep. All right. So Phaedra's the only one standing, and you see that the seat lights up with a little bit of a red hue to it. The other 4 seats that you are sitting in all light up with a blue hue. But the empty seat is lit up with a red hue.
Oh. I
think
don't know
we
what that
need
means. I guess I have to sit down. All right. I'll go sit down.
All right, the seat lights up with a blue hue, and you see a like holographic projection kind of like assemble itself in front of you in the seat that's across the way on the table, and it is of a woman that has her hair tied back in a ponytail, and she's with a white kind of doctors kind of, well, not really doctors, but administrative kind of suit on. Um, and she sits before you and says, "Thank you for coming. You are here to be judged on your actions. I see that you had hacked into Sector 425 and obtained, by obtaining a access card that looks to be a simulated duplicate. In doing so, you also had committed the crime of wiping out the entire sector before rewinding time. Um, how do you plead?"
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember us doing that. I mean,
Not guilty.
Uh, uh,
No contest?
no contest.
No, we did those things,
Yes.
but
We're in-
justified.
No.
Yeah, that's no
we
contest.
admit to 80% of it, so contest. The first
We're
thing
not
we did.
saying we're
the
not
other
saying
things
we're
were
not guilty,
accidental.
but we're not gonna just let you put out a sentence and say guilty.
You see the holographs crack a smile and is like, "Well, so you believe that you're justified in your actions. Who do you wish to represent you? As it seems you have a little bit of disorganization, you may take your time." And she disappears.
We should say your dad.
No.
No,
we
I think
probably
we're
need to
supposed to
plead our
choose.
case.
No, I think we're supposed to choose amongst ourselves.
Yeah. To plead our case.
Yes.
Take
So
a
yeah,
what?
pick one of you to be your representative, basically.
We could go
Before
wild
I-
card and just throw Malakai to her.
No.
Trial by combat? Okay.
wait, what?
No, obviously it should be.
Before I advocate for anybody, Tycho, tell me why you think we should have pleaded guilty.
Because we did the thing.
No, he said not guilty at first.
Oh yeah, I said not guilty at first, but yeah, theoretically guilty. But
See, my reasoning is I don't want to deny that what we did was wrong, but we didn't mean to cause the time warp or anything else. That was unintentional. So pleading contest is the only reasonable option for us at that moment.
Yeah, because you can't just go straight to sentencing because like we would basically we don't fight most of it, but we still want to be heard. And
Right. We don't deny that the method that we used was wrong.
I don't know if this will work
I
in this
think
scenario, but one angle of attack that I like is that our usage of the admin credentials was okay because
urgency were necessary.
we weren't cheating the game. I mean, we were cheating the game, but we weren't going to take credit for cheating the game. It wasn't about the game that we were cheating. It was about an end goal.
We cheated the game, and that was our reasoning.
Yeah, it's
but from
my reasoning for not guilty in the beginning was essentially the same justification of you're not guilty of homicide if it's self-defense. We cheated the game for a goal outside of the.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would say more. We're pleading manslaughter, not murder.
Yeah, we accidentally killed some.
Because our argument is, we we 100% meant to do the first act, which was faking that ID. The rest of the things that happened because of that first action was not our fault at all.
A GM, do I have reason to
Yeah.
believe that people actually died?
It's more
by
negligence
blackout?
on our part.
I would say that there's there's possibilities of people dying or being hurt from your actions, but everything got rewound, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
We
So
were just
that's
gonna
why
all of a
I'm
sudden
pleading
throw
no
in a moral
contest.
conundrum there.
Yeah,
We
is
could
it no
also try
contest
to
because-
use the threat at the gate type thing.
Yeah,
If
we
if
had a
if the
sense of
computer looks through
urgency.
the logs, they'll see someone else has recently done something similar, and we were defending this from those people.
The computer won't matter or care about that. It might help us with if we were going to argue our sense of urgency to finish the job.
Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't even reference the last bit there. She only referenced the stuff.
Yeah,
It was
she
up
just
to
we
the
True,
black,
yeah.
the whiteout.
the copying of the ID, the
Yeah,
wiping out of
that's
everything,
true.
and then the time warp. So I'm saying we're pleading no contest because we did in fact do the first one, but I
feel
don't
like
want
I
to
am
claim those
confused.
other two.
I feel like I am confused as to what you mean by no contest. Doesn't that just mean you admit to everything and you accept the punishment?
No, that's guilty.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm not familiar
I
with
do
no
not
contest
want
then.
to. Oh, no contest is basically means you.
Oh wait, no, yeah, no contest accepts conviction too.
Yeah, I want to accept the consequences of my behavior, but I also don't want to deny or to accept that I was guilty of everything that is
So really,
listed.
our only defense is not guilty.
No, I feel like we should take the consequence. It's the quickest way to get the fuck out of here. And
Yeah, I
I
think-
don't want to anger this big planet that sucked us in here with no way to escape. That's why I'm pleading no
Wait.
contest. Because
No contest is the worst one.
no,
Okay, so
I want to
Levi,
take the
which-
consequences. I just don't want to accept.
We don't even know what the consequences are, though.
Oh, okay, I see what you
I-
mean. You
I
accept
think
the
we.
yeah, it's
I'd
you
rather
the
accept
conviction,
our
but does not
punishment
admit guilt.
here than what it would be
Hold on,
if we did far worse.
I want to hear what Tycho has to say about what
Okay.
Okay, so no contest is when you accept the conviction,
Yep.
but you do not admit guilt. So I kind of see what Phaedra is saying, where it's, go ahead and punish us. We have to finish this shit. But we're not admitting that those things that we did are wrong. You admit that we did them aren't wrong.
Yeah. It's like the cause justifies the means type of deal.
And
But
then
we
not
still have to
guilty
accept
is-
the punishment then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, depending on the punishment, that might be the best way out of
It's
this.
like
No,
the
it definitely
olive
might be,
branch.
but I think we should try to see if we can establish what the punishment would be for these charges.
Has there been any plea offers made? I'm interested in plea offers.
Why? They hold
we
all
do-
the cards. They won't give us a plea offer.
Can we do
Well-
a time served for the paradox realm? I'm just wondering.
So, I mean, this is more of a mediation than a trial. So, the first stage should be some sort of establishment of facts. So, I'm going to say that Phaedra should represent us and request a discovery phase.
I don't know that. I mean, I think
I
that you
mean,
can just
There's
acknowledge
no
all the facts.
evidence left to use
If
if time got erased.
if the first statement by the Cybertronic lady, the hologram lady, was the statement of facts, I think that we can accept those as just true, and then
Yeah, but
move
but
on
we
to
need
the whole
establish. We need to
reasoning.
establish why we were doing those things.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Then yeah, I have an argument.
Yeah.
We needed to
so actually, I
procure
think
the highest rate of success. in the quickest manner because that was our job.
Yeah. So the first thing we should find out is what is the punishment if, just, guilty. And maybe we just take that if it's not bad. But then we have to establish why we did the things as a reasoning for a lesser punishment.
So you want me to ask them what our options are first before I give my argument?
I feel like we do no
Yeah, I mean-
contest, and then during the sentencing phase is, don't we get to make a statement of some sort during that phase of why it should be lowered?
We should at least be able to know like a minimum and maximum potential sentence before making our plea, I think.
Okay.
How the judicial system works
you
here.
you see the woman rematerialize and goes, it is always interesting to see what the humans do when I bring them before me in this
Just
kind of
trolling us.
manner. I sometimes I normally get what the whole objective. However, you guys are not giving me that with the conversation that you're getting here. So let me help you here. I want to know why you are doing what you are doing, and understand the whole concept of why you're trying to get onto the leader, board of and accessing this part of the game that nobody else has accessed before.
So you want to
As
know what our
for
motives were?
We
as
don't
for
care
what I
about the
stated,
leaderboard.
it sounds like as you guys have stated that you admit to the actions that you've taken. Now I'm not as much concerned with the actions themselves as much as why you are doing what you are doing, and that I do not quite understand yet.
Wait, let's rewind for just a second here. You said that nobody's ever been there. That's not true.
Well, there
My
was
father finished this.
yes, there was one that had completed it once before, and by very heroic deeds, by actions that none others would take inside of a simulated game, and ending up with a self-sacrifice of his icon. So the actions that you took were very mischievous and devious, but it sounds like you are trying to attain the greatness of your father.
Yeah, but we're on a timetable, so we.
Interesting. Why are you on a timetable?
Oh, we're trying to save the universe
Oh, do
from
tell.
utter destruction. So altered Earth, spirit, nodes, giant shield. My dad, nodes. We're trying to shut them down, but maybe
Also,
not.
time stopping in a couple of months.
Also, this isn't exactly what I'm saying. I'm giving the whole spiel.
Okay, yep. Go ahead, give me a I guess expression would be the one that I'd go to first. But I can see arguments for other things, so I'll let you. But charisma plus expression. Difficulty 6. Oh, he takes the straight up. All right, so 3 successes. So yeah, you kind of break down the whole kind of situation of what's kind of going on here and what's at stake. And the computer says, I judge your actions to be justified, and you had cleaned up all of the issues that you had caused, and you have identified other people that have hacked my system for me. So thank you for that. I will be meeting with them next. And then
Uh-oh.
you see a door open up, and you see the bridge of your starship before you, as if you were coming out of one of the turbo lifts.
We some
Uh,
snitches. Ooh.
That went better than expected.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you may have some fallout. Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Don't control the
Peter.
computer.
Now
I
I'm
will
just
not-
curious what the punishment would have been.
Oh, well, there's different kind of punishments, but most of them end with banishment from the game for a certain amount of time. I mean, I'm not really a judge or anything, and as for the destroying time in my realm, I don't really care because you brought it back, and I would have been destroyed if you didn't bring it back. So, you know,
Maybe just
works out.
don't put our names on the leaderboards. Don't let us get any credit for it. We
Oh
just
yeah,
have to
no,
run over there and
you guys aren't doing this for the game, so you get no credit inside of the game. But I'm not
Appreciate it.
banishing you either, so come back and try and do the run for real one time.
if we survive to the winter, that'll be a fun Halloween thing. I feel. If the world exists, then anyway, let's get to the ship.
If the
Just
universe
the
doesn't blow
popcorn
up,
sunshine.
we might do that.
Awesome. All right, so you guys head on back onto your ship, and you see, a station before you that you can dock with without any problems. When you guys kind of enter like the landing bay, there's a giant like supercomputer kind of like right in front of the docking hangar that you're kind of landing at. As if you were, it's designed for one ship to land and for, the crew to kind of undock and go straight to the computer core, basically. Um, so this thing like towers in front of you. So, basically you're in like a cargo bay area that's probably about 100 feet tall by 300 feet wide, 300 feet deep, basically. And you have this like giant computer core that's kind of in front of you with a computer panel that has like operational access for 4 people. You guys are going to be able to pull the uh, NCIS or whatever, where they 2 people on one keyboard, because that's
2 idiots, 1 keyboard.
2 idiots, 1 keyboard. But it's 4 idiots,
That's how
1
you hang
keyboard.
faster.
Yes, and you can stop the hack by unplugging the monitor, which is the end of that scene. In case you were wondering.
Why didn't I think of that?
I head to one of the councils and start, doing standard stuff. RM. Man, question mark.
System.
You guys can kind of access the basics of this, and it's it has like a whole program to kind of set up the star system where you can start mining planets and building more star bases and starships and stuff like that, and kind of gives you like control over the station, some items inside of the hangar with different ships and stuff like that. All of that seems to be restricted to you. And seems to be kind of like in this like status of like, yeah, you could have access to this entire whole thing, but you fucking cheated. You don't get that.
I just like that
Justifiable.
that's the screen that pops up when you go to click on like, oh, I want to manipulate this system specifically.
It just says too bad, cheater.
No, you fucking cheated. You can't do it.
All right, I scanned for the node.
So you are able
Here.
to locate the inside of the files here, though. You are able to find the basic kind of one thing that you kind of have access to, and that's to turn off the node that's here, and access the item that was left behind by your father. And so if you
Do we have to turn off the node to do that? to get access to that item?
Actually, you do not have access. I apologize. You do not have access to turning off the node. You have access to just getting that item and stopping it from diverting that energy to the altered Earth. But the access level that you have right now does not let you destroy the node.
But we can sever the connection.
But you can sever the connection.
So theoretically, we could just turn it off right now.
The connection, yes.
You want to
But
access that item?
Yeah, you got your message
Yeah.
ready. I'm going to start working on Prime. Using Prime. Prime isn't boosted here, so it's Prime 3. Start laying
is
the
boosted.
groundwork for modulating the frequency of power heading towards the shield to implement this message before we sever it.
Should I assist with correspondence?
Yep,
I would
and
be shocked if that's not required.
Prime, correspondence, and forces are all boosted by 1 here. So this would be a Prime. I mean, I think the best that you guys can do is Prime 4, correspondence 4, and really those are the 2 things that I'm going to have you guys really using in order to do this action. But once again, this will be a team effort that you're probably going to need on this, because I believe everybody has access to Prime and correspondence, unless I'm wrong.
I do not have Prime.
You do not have Prime, but you do have correspondence.
And I do not have correspondence, but I do have Prime 4.
I have Prime and correspondence, so.
I got all 3 at level 1.
Yeah, I got forces, like, at this place too, so.
I think you're the one who's you're doing the correspondence, the required level.
Yeah.
And I'm doing the Prime required level, and then we're all helping.
Yep, as long as you have 1 dot in one of those, you can assist.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So you guys are all accessing the computer. Is there anything? So the one thing, since you guys are using for this, and I'm guessing you're kind of going off a little bit off of script here than just using the computer panel. But kind of give me a little bit more of an in-depth of what you're each kind of doing to kind of set this whole thing up. Feel free to use. You've got items on the ship and stuff like that. So if you want to go grab like giant batteries off of the ship and you're like hooking up different panels and stuff like that, as long as you're.
Is there a specific device that my father left here, or is it just kind of like a thing off somewhere in the station that we have admin rights to?
Your father did leave a cube here, like the one of the cubes that you've been working on. It's kind of just lodged inside of a like power conduit, basically. That's kind of diverting the energy.
Okay, so I'm just trying to get the color of this, where it's like, so we find the panel and I take the panel off and it's like this. It's kind of like at a weird angle, kind of just jammed in. With like,
I would say elegantly in, not jammed in, but yep, elegantly placed and modified, basically.
Like he spent some time on it.
What's that?
Like he spent some time on it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Possibly even the sphere of time.
Since this is a rare opportunity for me, does anybody need any quintessence before we get started? Because I believe with a 4, I can refill you guys up to your own max.
Yes, please.
Please.
Yeah, I'll take it.
If only you could like get rid of my paradox.
Not there yet, but I'm working on it. I've been thinking about it heavily. I really did not enjoy that experience.
Because I have the worst luck, and I think I'm the only one who actually gained paradox.
Yeah. I believe that you are correct there. So yeah, before we get started, I would like to I pull Prime out of. Oh shit! Okay, I gotta think about this differently. I would like to rig up a small radio wave activated device that uses radio waves and then puts them through diodes to then charge a battery. And then I'm going to use that to pull quintessence out of the air to then give to my party members.
Yeah, off of the nodes. That's the ambient energy off of the nodes. Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead
I
and
wasn't sure if
do
we were. What would you like?
Arate difficulty of 3.
Boop. So that is wow, so close. I can't spend a quintessence because you can't get it below a 3. So that is 3 successes total. Who's lowest? I have a feeling.
Yep, you can get 1 dot
I
per
just need
1
one.
quiescence per.
1 quiescence per. So I'll take 1. I'll give 1 to Phaedra. I'll give 1 to Tycho, and then I'm going to do it again. If you guys don't mind, just give me a few moments here. Get this thing. And just make sure you burn all of it for this because we really need this to work. God damn it! Apparently that's all we're getting.
Well, I mean, you could try it again on a higher difficulty.
Do you want me to? I will. I just.
I've
don't
only
want
got
to.
1 quintessence left.
I
What do you
believe in
got,
you.
Phaedra?
I got
I'm
1.
full up.
Okay, so Tycho's full up. Phaedra, did that 1 help you, Tycho?
Yes.
Okay. Phaedra, where are you at?
It brought me back down to having 1 left. I was,
Oh, you were out. Okay, I got you.
yeah, I had my
I definitely
max,
will do it.
yeah.
I'll do it again at the 4 then. Okay, well, that's still 2 more. I'll give it 1 to each of you guys. So Robert and Phaedra are now sitting at 2, and I'm going to do it one more time. There we
There
go.
we
That's
go.
what I'm talking about. I'll give each of you 1 more, and myself 2, and that will take us all to 3. Oh no, that'll actually take me to 4. But
That works.
I have a lot of willpower left. I'm actually going to give so 1 to Robert, 1 to me, 2 to Phaedra, because
Yay.
she's doing the primary of the correspondence
Yeah.
component of it. So,
Can he overcharge us with Prime 4?
I think
Yeah,
you
yeah,
need.
he can overcharge you.
Okay.
Do you want me to keep going? Because eventually I'm going to explode and probably take a chunk of
No,
the
No,
party.
no. Don't push it like that. 4 is great.
I don't
Yeah,
think
I'm
Phaedra
overcharged
needs
by
any
1
more
right now.
weirdness.
No, I don't.
And it's hard to say how long it'll actually take, but you only can spend, or how many you can only spend enough to bring it down to a 3, or can you only spend 1 per a ret roll?
You can spend up to your avatar or your genius rating per turn to lower
Okay.
difficulties. So you can, but the lowest you can get a difficulty is 3.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and just say that I feel like that was good. I don't want to push my luck, but I will push my luck if you guys convince me to.
Nope.
Nope.
All right. Well, that's already 3 to 1 at minimum, or at maximum. So, let's do this. You got your message set, or sorry, you got your message ready to go.
When are you going to send him,
Yeah.
Tycho?
I'm not going to tell you guys.
Okay.
At all, or until you have to, because I'm pretty sure you're gonna have to at some point.
At some point.
It can be
But
coded. That's fine.
Suffice it to say, if we do get a response, I'll know whether it's him.
That's exactly what we're looking for. Are we including instructions? Or are we just looking for confirmation that he wants us to bring the shield down now? Because old him told us don't. Go ahead.
First, we have to confirm, and then I think we could initiate two-way communication on frame.
I feel like he only got a split-second message out. I imagine our message going in is going to be the same. I mean, it'll be a slow thing.
Well, no, because we're modulating something that he should be able to communicate with directly.
Well, yeah, but then we're going to modulate it, send him the message, and then we're going to disconnect this node. So his
After we
response is
talked.
going to have to come through however he got that last message out. He might not be able to do that. We don't really know.
No. This is two-way through this device.
Oh, okay. All right. I wasn't expecting that. So yeah, okay. Well, if
Yeah.
that's the case, then let's get him on the
It's
phone,
a
eh?
transceiver, a transmitter receiver.
A transceiver. Yeah. Let's get him on the phone then.
Okay, so I think I'm the only one with all spheres, so I'm setting up the framework. So I'm going to have 2 tripods. Each one is going to have a boom that goes each side of the cube, and there's going to be a laser lattice that is going to show up on each side of the cube, and it's going to spritz some smoke in there so you can see the actual energy flow in and out of the cube. And that laser lattice is going to theoretically vibrate the energy at the appropriate frequency so that we can use it as a carrier wave. And I would like a lower difficulty for Technobabble.
On the skill check, I'll give you a lower difficulty. Yes.
All right. Well, it's going to be hypertech, so I already get a lower one. I'll just roll it at 6.
No. So we'll let's go through here real quick though. I just want to understand where everybody is before we do any rolls. So Phaedra, what are you physically doing?
I can go first if Phaedra wants to think about it for a minute.
Oh, yeah. I have myself muted. Yeah, I was
Oh.
basically going to add whatever I needed to amplify onto Malakai, so he goes first.
Well, right.
And
But
I'm
what are
gonna-
you physically, or you're just gonna do physically what Malakai is physically doing?
Yeah, I was going to like attach antennas to whatever device he's going to be using, and making sure that the frequencies are right using mathematical equations.
All right, and then Malakai.
I will be building onto Tycho's tripods / boom arms. I'm basically expecting like it's an empty frame, and so I'm going to be putting some batteries, i.e., I suppose I would pull these from the ship for the prime, and then I'm going to wire it up with the to the lasers and etc. But yeah, I'm going to be putting batteries and then actually like physically wiring the thing up.
Awesome.
Which,
and then
anyway,
oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say that it's no small feat to wire up a machine. That if Robert, I would use your help if you have Prime.
I do not.
That's the one you didn't have. Damn it. Okay, yeah, never
I
mind.
mean, I do. I'm here to assist.
Yeah, so just to, you need to get the correspondence going, but I'll absolutely take the help as you complete that portion, getting all this thing powered up.
All right, and Robert.
I would like to assist with the Phaedra. Is it the Phaedra side of things more? Who's got the correspondence for?
Me.
Yeah. So that part with really like kind of double checking the triangulation and the kind of the measurements of how we're going to be beaming this across and making sure that we're accounting for the delay across, the physical spectrums and etc.
Awesome. All right, so let's have everybody go ahead and do a. You can do hypertech at a difficulty of 6. Tycho, for you, it'll be difficulty of 5. And then everybody else can use technology if you don't have hypertech at a difficulty of 8. But well, actually, difficulty 7 because I'm gonna kind of bleed over the techno babble into everybody else as well.
Great technology or hypertech.
Wits wits and technology or wits and hypertech or
Okay.
intelligence. You guys have time as well.
Yeah.
To kind of
Okay.
have to be
Yeah, I'm gonna do
investigate, so.
intelligence then.
Intelligence technology, yeah. You said that was difficulty 7?
Difficulty will be 7, yeah, if you're doing tech.
I want to put a willpower on this roll just because.
Drop down with some quiescence, make it difficulty 5.
I got 4 successes.
I got 2.
I got 3 with the
4.
willpower.
All right, so your difficulties, the lowest you can do is -3 off of the base of, so in order to do what you guys are doing, this will be vulgar, because you guys are breaking like lots and lots of laws at this point in time, in order to pull this off. But so the base difficulty for this is 8, but you guys bring that down to the lowest you can bring it down to 5. I believe everybody but Phaedra brings it down to 5. Or Phaedra, did you use the willpower?
No.
Okay, so Phaedra will be at 6. Everybody else will be at 5 for your difficulties. You can spend a quiescence every turn if you wish to lower the difficulty down by 1. But that will be your base or your current difficulty is going to be 5 for your. If you guys have a failure, you guys will have to start over from the very beginning. If you have
Oh no.
a botch, then you all will get paradox for this.
And
you
we'll all
all
immediately explode again.
you all are getting a paradox point just for the action of doing this. You all gain 1 paradox point in the end, but you don't gain it right now. So once you've completed your effect, not per roll, just the entire effect, you all will get 1 paradox.
Sweet.
Anybody-
Can we spend a quintessence on this roll to bring it down to 4, or is 5 the absolute?
5 is the absolute lowest you can bring her.
So
that's base difficulty is 8
so-
currently.
So quintessence will not help on this roll.
Only Phaedra will be
Only
able
Phaedra.
to use
Okay.
quiescence on this roll.
Thank you for that clarification. Oh my god.
Holy.
Early because I didn't want to roll last. All right, no, that's not bad.
All right, I'm at 3.
2, 4, 5, 6 for me.
3 for me.
1.
So 12, 13 total.
All right. Well, so 13. You guys are starting off very, very strong. You have basically start seeing the effect starting to work. You can see that you're starting to modulate, towards that proper frequency in order to kind of break through. It'll and at this point, you could stop if you want and shoot a message through, where it is a one-shot message, and you might it's like an opening that'll be open for a very small, millisecond amount of time to basically shoot your USB drive, not your USB drive, but your file through really quick. Or you can continue going and try and open up a 2-way communication. That is approximately going to be about 20 successes.
Like
So you're
additional or total?
Total. So you're already 13 of your way there. 10 was the barrier to get a message out.
All right. Do we maintain difficulties for the next ret roll, or do we have to re-roll the other stuff?
You will have to re-roll everything for this one. I'm not going to give that extra roll onto this again. So you'll have to do your same difficulty, either 5 or 7, depending on what you're doing for the physical stuff. But you don't have to explain yourself again. We've got that. So.
I'm gonna lower my difficulty. Fuck all that. Okay, so I'll make it 6.
You also do not have to lower your difficulty. If you want to skip that roll, your base difficulty is 8. You do need. I'm just going to give every success gives you a -1 on your difficulty for this one. So similar to before. So Robert, you're at difficulty 7 for your Arate. Tycho,
And
looks like you're
only one quintessence per round?
you can spend
No,
up to your genius rating. So it is so if you have a 4 in genius, you could spend 4 quiescence if for whatever reason difficulties
The
are
hell
really out
is
of whack.
genius?
Oh,
Avatar.
Avatar, yeah.
Maybe Avatar.
Yep.
I'm going to forego. I'm going to be focused so much on the like swapping connections. I'm going to go straight to the arete roll, but I'm going to spend a shit ton of stuff on that roll.
That's another way of doing it. Yep, you don't want to, because I do have this be if you fail this roll, it would be bad as well. You know, like
And I'm the only one. I'm the only one who hasn't rolled yet, so I'm absolutely not going to do that.
Not
I'm
gonna
going to
press
spend a
your luck.
willpower. Spend a willpower and 2 quintessence. I'll kick off the magic rolls. So 8 down to a 6 with a willpower for a total of 2 successes. We're currently sitting at 15.
All right. Here I go.
Oh, wow.
Difficulty
Nice.
5, 1 success, yeah.
All right. Well.
16. We're getting there.
Hey, 20!
Whoa, 20.
That's 20.
All
Tycho,
right.
all you have
Don't
to do is
dodge.
I just don't have to. I have to not botch. So with my action roll from earlier, I think my difficulty is 5.
Yep.
I can't spend quintessence to get it lower, so I won't. But I will spend a willpower to get a success. So arete.
What do the
Difficulty
dice say?
5. Spend a
Thank
it's not
willpower.
a botch.
Thank God for that willpower.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Because with this, if you had rolled 2 1s, if that 3 had been a 1, you would have continued to botch the way that I'm an asshole GM and I like botching. So I just but the 1 1 will be negated by that willpower. You have 0. However, that's technically a failure, which would make you start all the way from the beginning again.
No.
Can
But
his willpower just be him
I'm
being smart enough to get to back away
yeah,
right
I'm
before
gonna
he fucks it up?
yeah, that's a good way of doing it. I like that. They basically you're like, okay, I've just got to maintain, what's going on here. I don't really need to do anything. You kind of feel that that everybody just got you over the barrel here, and we will not have you fail. But everybody does gain a point of paradox,
I'm used to it.
and we
I
will
need a
take
vacation.
we'll take a quick 7-minute break here. So we'll be back at 20 after, and we'll start with this two-way communication that you kind of open up and see what happens next. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Mage the Ascension Technogate 1999. And where we last left off, the Technogate team had made it through their trial through the great giant supercomputer that runs this sector of the digital web, and they had been judged as just in their actions. However, they will not be going on to the leaderboard, and they do not have actual access to anything except for the node and to do what they came here to do. However, they have built up 20 successes, and with a little bit of willpower on Tycho's behalf to kind of take a step back and just let things happen, the magic goes through, or the advanced technology that they have built has created a small window of opportunity for you to have two-way communication. I'm going to say that it lasts for about 20 minutes. And in the first minute, nothing happens. So you have 19 minutes left. Is there anything that you want to do during that first minute? We'll start with Tycho.
Okay. I'm going to initiate the um, activation of the carrier and send out the standard initial set of pulses that all Void Engineers know by heart.
All right, and Phaedra?
I mean, I kind of just watch. There's not
Yeah,
much I can do.
feel free to pass.
Pass.
Robert?
Yeah, I'm just watching and monitoring.
Malakai?
I'm muted. I will be doing the same, where I am going to be focused on making sure power levels stay within the green, and that's what I'm doing. I'm just making sure everything's staying cool.
All right.
I'm watching vitals and stuff,
All right, 2 minutes.
just in case. Sorry.
No, good. Yeah, everybody's vitals are good. And Tycho seemed to be a little bit elevated. And
To be expected.
as another minute goes by, Tycho's continues to elevate a little bit more. So dead silence, no response at the 2 minute mark. Does anybody want to do anything during the second minute, Tycho?
Okay. I got to think back to my initial engineer training. We respond to the initial pulses. Means they're not listening. Okay. I initiate the emergency codes that if there is anything listening on the standard carrier wave, emit the audible alarm. So I send the code for the standard audible alarm activation.
On sorry, Phaedra, anything that you would like to do?
Other than making sure everything start running well, making sure that no one else is trying to intercept this message.
Okay. And Robert?
Continuing to monitor vitals.
And Malakai.
I'm going to continue to be looking at the power draw and whatnot. Are we, based on our successes thus far and my interpretation of what's happening, am I confident that it should, like 2 minutes in, that's kind of it's starting to wonder, is it everything should be good? We're 5 by 5.
Oh yeah,
Setting out,
everything looks good.
Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, I'm going to continue to be monitoring for anything weirdly variant or etc. in the prime stream, power stream.
All right. And then and so Tycho, you are sending this out as a broad spectrum kind of broadcast, is that correct?
Yeah, so my understanding of it is there's Altered Earth and there's a shield around it. Based on my experience with my mother and father, I would know that if I was trying to send, or if my father was trying to send to somebody inside, that this is what he would be monitoring. So that's
Okay.
I'm kind
So
of jumping off an assumption.
Yeah, it's like a special channel that your family basically has as like a
Well,
key.
it's more like it's more like I know what kind of stuff my mom works on in the garage. So if I needed to send her a message, I would know what kind. signal to send. But it's knowing a lot about the technology that my dad created based on his
Okay.
notebook and
So like a special
personal
signal, basically. Um, yeah, something that was like developed by your father. Okay.
Yeah, and then on top of that, using the standard Void Engineer carrier waves.
So on the 3rd minute, you do get a signal back that gives you a tight beam location in Altered Earth's like location. Um, we'll say Madison, Wisconsin, is where the beam tells, or like the kind of message that you kind of get back is this: there's like a tight beam that's kind of coming in that's focused on Madison, Wisconsin, and would like you to harmonize with it.
And I like smack my forehead and I'm like, oh, of course, that's where he. And I start to modify the signal so that it stops broadcasting to the entire planet and harmonizes with the type beam location.
So what are you using as, is it just audio that you have, or do you have visual as well?
No, this is text only.
Okay, text only.
This is a low bit rate.
I was going to say, we do not have the
binary.
bandwidth for video.
Yeah, there ain't bandwidth here. This is
Good point. Good point. Yeah, no, this is the best probably way to, and in fact, because of that, I'm going to triple the amount of time that you actually have.
this shit is measured in baud.
Yeah, if you did video, we'd probably be going down. You'd have like 5 minutes left, basically. But you get a message back then that says, "Is this who I think it is?"
All right. And I respond, yes. And then what everybody else will see is a string of random words. And just to metagame this, the way I'd like to play it is whatever the response is, nobody else will understand it, but I will know whether or not it's real.
Okay. You get a message back that says, and you know it's encoded in all of like you guys' special little language that you guys have you kind of it's all throughout his notebook and stuff like that. It's his his code kind of language that he uses to codify everything. So it's really easy to do in text, and you can't really speak it per se though. And you get a codified message back that basically says, I am, extremely proud of you and thank you so much for all your endeavors. I'm glad that you got the distress call that I have put out. I need you to get to Altered Earth as soon as possible.
Respond. This will require the deactivation of the nodes. Is this what you want?
I might be able to circumvent that.
Understood. We will need to take this node down for political reasons. Further instructions? Question mark.
Let them know 4 are remaining.
Yeah, 4 are remaining, including the fuck was that place called? The island of
No return. The dreaming.
The one with his his double.
He sends back a message that says, if you have control of of one of the nodes right now, I can open a portal with your help and get you to be able to breach the portal or breach the barrier, but you'll be stuck on this side with me. But I have a plan.
Well, shit.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a
Especially
lot.
since we have less than 15 minutes ish to make the decision.
Ask
No,
him what the
so-
percentage is to his plan. What's his probability?
Yeah, probability
Success
of success.
for his plan?
80%.
Yeah, I sent it.
Percentage chance of us being trapped on that side of
20%.
the shield.
It's
20%.
Escape from altered Earth is at a 50%.
I don't know about you guys, but I'd take those odds.
If we can trust whoever, I mean, we know this is him.
I trust Tycho. He said that the code checked out, didn't you?
It's an
Yeah.
old code, but it checks.
It's an old code, though. Yeah.
50%.
No, it's 50% we get back. 80% will be successful regardless if we get back. So it feels pretty good. Maybe we're just gonna like take a tour around with some screwdrivers and like start opening up all these spirit nukes and just taking the,
I don't know
medium
about
ones.
you, but I kind of like my side of reality. And 50% is a lot to be stuck somewhere.
We
Yeah.
got some time. Let's try a little bit more back and forth here.
Well, what do you need to
Status
get the
of-
percentage higher?
Yeah. Well,
Ask
first,
them if they have
status
vampires in there.
status of spirit nukes? Question mark.
Spirit nukes are underneath the control of the virtual adept currently, and I am working on a plan on how to circumvent or how to get them out of his hands and use them to bring down the barrier between our around altered Earth in the end. Basically allowing for us to escape and using up the spirit nukes so that they can't be used on Earth and in the Dark Umbra.
I have a feeling that having 4 powerful technocrats there is going to aid him in case the VA is not so interested in using them for that purpose. I still think we should go.
I'm definitely leaning towards it.
Need a
I think
vacation.
Tycho is just on the verge of seeing the father that left how many years ago.
You're
It's
blinded.
freaking him out.
Okay, as far as I understand, there's no reason we have to go on this node. We could potentially organize it out, do some prep work, and then when we get sent to the next node after we disconnect this one, that's
Ask
when we
him
teleport.
about the urgency of getting to him. Well, what's our time frame?
Yeah. Probability versus time frame.
He says
Probability of success.
the virtual adept will have broken the codes that I have created and the safety measures that I have put into place, and that will be happening in July. So around July 1st is my prediction on when the barrier will be brought down from the inside by him. We're, the problem with we're not going to be able to I guess out of game, you're not going to be able to pick up from what he's doing because what you guys are going to be doing will basically be stopping him from bringing it down. You'd have to start all over again from 30 years of. I mean, there's 4 of you, so maybe it'd go quicker, but or 5 of you.
So it's either we allow Armageddon because we don't want to go and he destroys the world, or take down all the stuff and the technocracy destroys the world. So we can you have to deal with your pops.
Fuck all of them. let's destroy the world ourselves. Never
I mean,
mind.
which way do you want to go?
So I initially looked to
gotta go.
Phaedra for her to draw her trank gun, but she didn't. And so then I looked to Robert. And like, are you? When I take
Look,
care of something, it's kind of permanent. I just It's crazy talk,
think we
right?
need
We're
to
not going
go.
to blow up the world.
Yes,
Oh
we're
shit!
gonna go, but I want to increase that probability.
We're
As
definitely
to
not going to
what's
blow up the world,
necessary.
Malakai. Don't worry.
I realized
Yeah.
that there was a prior session where I was the one that was all like, "But we could just blow up the world," and then it would be. It wasn't this one. It was Altered Earth.
We all have our days that we want to blow up the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
What
cool.
items?
Here's
Well, go
yeah,
ahead.
we've got a ship docked right here. I'm gonna say we're probably not gonna want to take the whole thing, because there's a crew, and that would be not.
I don't want
We'd
to.
only have enough power to bring 4 people at most.
And I don't want to
Okay.
strand the whole crew there.
Yeah, that would
They're
be
not part of
vicious.
this. If we get stranded on that planet,
I
there's a lot of
definitely
people
didn't sign
who
up
want to
for it.
kick your ass, Tycho.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay.
That's my point.
So-
But we could probably bring some stuff with, right?
Yes, I want.
I will
Ask your father, restricted or not, whether we have to steal it or not, or kill somebody for it. What items would he need to increase that to the highest odds possible?
I
Yeah.
have.
So
I would guess that the portable node. Sorry, I'm interrupting. Go ahead, Tycho.
yeah, I'll just send the message. We currently have access to standard Void Engineer ship with all the old tech plus a bunch of new shit. Can bring anything that would increase our success rate. We also have a portable
I'm sorry, you have a portable what?
node. The one we got from
Yeah.
Yeah, my
the Primordial.
But just to feel that it's not a spirit node of Altered Earth and it's a real one that we bring, it might have have different powers. Also, there's a second thing, and I'm just gonna say it, even though I'm just gonna say it. A vampire that is not a spirit vampire, but an actual one. I don't know if there's spirit vampires on Altered Earth. I'm just saying that is also something that could dramatically change the stakes
yeah, well,
on the ground.
my disease be affected by the elements there? Because I didn't have vicissitude when we went to go deal with wraiths before.
Well, you won't be dealing with wraiths here, but I mean these are spirit, spirit things, but they're not actually made of dead people at all. It's just an entire realm that's filled with, what the hell are they called? Anyways, there's basically a bunch of aliens.
They're of the Umbra.
They're of
You
the
know,
Umbra. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not of prime material. I feel like there's a
duplicates that were kind of created, an alternate reality that's from a technocratic point of view, it's a complete alternate reality that kind of splintered off during the time of the nukes going off in World War II.
It's a very good photocopy.
Yeah. And the only big difference is this one doesn't have any supernaturals. And the end of the world was going to come during the Cuban Missile Crisis, which was averted by the virtual adept that came from real Earth, and kind of controlled the realm from there. In any case, all of this stuff, I would say, is at this point in time, with the amount of time that you have left right now, you really could only take all of your time is going to be spent getting you 4 through with what you have right now. If you go to another node, you could definitely prepare more. But
that's what I'm leaning towards.
Yeah, we don't want to screw him up. What if we did? Okay. So I and
Oh, wait a minute. You're in the text base, so you do have about 60 minutes. So you would be able to get like maybe the portable node and some stuff off of the ship, I would say, but not a lot.
Okay. I
No
would say
chance we could
like
get Brooklyn.
no. No,
I'm just
we
trying to
don't
think of
need
all the things
Brooklyn.
that could make it. But go ahead.
Like if you need a werewolf, I can make you one for a minute.
It would be something
Robert,
else.
you've
That
been quiet. What's your take on this?
Well, I think that you could go two ways with it. I think that we've already been very hasty today. So far, it's worked out for us, and we could try to keep that streak going. Or we could say we pushed our luck. Let's
Here's
regroup.
yeah. I want to regroup, and the reason why is because if we decide to go to this planet and we do achieve what your father wants us to do, and we do escape that planet and come back, the repercussions of our actions, we are making an enemy because we were supposed to get those nukes.
Oh, and is the NWO going to be considering what we've done a success for me? Or were we supposed to really like shut this thing down, not just disconnect?
Disconnect is fine.
Yeah. Because then I'm a little more comfortable regrouping. If we had like a good chance of some shit waiting for us when we get out of here, I'd say maybe it's worth just giving it a shot. This is the closest we've ever gotten.
Oh, and this is your only time you'll have access to this node, though, so it's not like you can just come back to this one. I mean, you could if you go through the game, but and then cheating will not be probably allowed at that point. You're given this one shot here to deal with the node, so you will have to you'll likely move on to another node unless you really want to come back and play.
No.
Yeah, we would shut this one down. We decide to.
I would either say we're going to go to a new node or go back to the dreaming.
I have a feeling that once we can't, if we go through the portal, we can't node. Or is the portal not dependent on this node?
You wouldn't disconnect the node if you went through this portal.
Well, if we all went through the portal.
Correct. If you left one behind.
Yeah, but if we
I
go
guess you
through
could
this
tell
one,
somebody to take it out as well. From the ship.
I don't know.
who's that guy on the ship that I?
Here's another
boss around all
reason
the
why
time.
I say
Bystander?
Yeah, Lysander. Lysander, you press this
make
button
him
once
take
we
the fall.
disappear, okay?
Yeah, no. I need a vacation. When was the last time we took a break?
But what if they
Well,
don't
I don't
call
know.
us up for the
Probably
next?
before we found out the universe was going to end.
The
Well,
universe
we did have a break. And
is
we chose to
ending
assault somebody
almost
with a
every
semi.
day.
Yeah.
Since I've met you, the world was ending. Tycho, we supposedly stopped that during killing Muddin. I need downtime to redo my materials, and I'm tired of running out of ingredients. I just need a second.
Well, okay, wait. How long is it until the virtual adept takes down the thing?
July 1st. So, and we're around May right now. I don't think we're at
Okay,
May
so we would
24th
get, like-
right now, but I would say we're around at the beginning of May right now.
Okay, so we would have like a month.
2 months basically. I mean, a month to. I guess, yeah. You'd want to get there and give yourself probably a month, but you might be able to give yourself shit can get done in a day sometimes. It's a movie.
I'm only asking for a week.
So how do we handle this if we don't get an assignment to a new node? Do we just like
We just go to
in 1 month time we just on a random Wednesday just all go to the Dreaming and then
Yeah.
basically go AWOL from Technogate?
I mean,
Yeah.
we're about to do that otherwise.
Like
I
when
mean,
we
at
come
least here
back,
we could argue we were sucked into something. If we have to physically leave the campus to and then not come back, we could be, you know,
Malachi, let me put it this way. We refused to follow orders by handing over John. We almost wiped out this entire game. Like
twice
if
technically, but yeah.
twice, technically. If we succeed here, the only thing that would be different than if we waited is that we didn't have time to prepare if we need to escape or go somewhere until the heat died down. I like to have a plan B.
I
Because if
counter
we are
position?
if the worst case scenario happens
No, that's not it.
and we make an enemy of that organization that prides itself on making people disappear, I would like a head start.
I mean, I agree with you, and the points I was going to make would be more relevant if it was that it was going to happen next week, opposed to, you know, in a couple of months, ish. Yeah, I think that we gotta prepare. Let's ask him if he can be ready to open the portal next time or on this date, and that'll be a date when we decide to abandon Technogate and go to the Dreaming. If we get sent on a mission before then, that'd be great.
Okay, so yeah, I'll send the message. The group has decided to wait for the next node. Given time and preparation, what should we bring?
He sends over a list of different kind of items from the inventory that he knows that Technogate has, as well as a possible wish list of stuff. And depending on, you know, how much you're able to, you know, open up the portal, which at 30 successes I would allow you to get the spaceship through, basically.
We've
But
already
you'll-
decided bring a crew. But yeah, we should be able to prepare something.
Yeah. So I won't give you the list right now, but yeah, there's like he sends over like a general idea of you know, a lot of it dealing with, you know, definitely that portable node that you had, and the concept of power armor, you know, weapons, that there's gonna be a fight, and that there's he also kind of gives you like a breakdown of what's happening on Altered Earth. So they basically have gone into the future, and it's more around the technological level of about 100 years in the future right now. The city, or the world, has kind of been paved in one big giant city, that's kind of going on down there at this point. Everybody's flying around with cars and shit like that, you know, with flying cars and teleporters, and there's, you know, advanced, basically one, you know, he runs everything. He's like the god emperor of this place, and kind of dictates the whole setup here, and is supposedly, there's, you know, he's got the nukes possibly maybe in the center of the earth, in like his own built, you know, crazy hollow earth that he's created in the center of the earth. And that's what's powering the entire realm, is these two nuclear spirit bombs, basically. That the two that were dropped on Hiroshima and um,
Nagasaki.
Yeah. But yes, so those two like spiritual nukes basically kind of like create this whole kind of network of nodes that kind of span out from there that kind of replicate the concept of what Earth is kind of like. Um, so there's certain landmarks and stuff like that that are still kind of remnants of the old world, but the rest of it is kind of transformed completely. And he's basically made all of these people under his control. There's everybody's filled with nanotech and shit like that and can be taken over. The rights have been rescinded to a large degree. They're all just a bunch of spirit things, anyways, to him. So he's kind of droned them up to a certain degree. And basically, the only person that is not in this setup is your dad, as far as you understand. Um, and there is a time period that um, kind of gets glossed over in the beginning, but um, in general, it kind of just gives you like an overlay of kind of what's going on with building a hideout and stuff like that, and then kind of how to analyze and everything. Basically, there's not a lot to kind of go over. A lot of it's just kind of glossed over to a certain degree because it's just been your dad kind of hiding out this entire time, trying to gather up information and understand the relationship between the two, and as well as trying to stop him from controlling, this, bringing down the barrier. But a lot of his stuff is, when he goes out, he has to pretend he's a spirit creature and stuff like that. So he doesn't go out very often.
Okay, so losing coherence on signal, we'll contact same method. And then the final thing that I'll do with the connection is I'll just send the message. Opening standard encrypted file transfer, just in case you want to send a message to my mom. Basically, he can download a file that's encrypted, and I'll.
Yep, he does that.
Okay.
All right.
See you soon.
So you guys, yeah, I'd say at this point, things are kind of breaking down. You guys can take out the connection without a problem, and then the station will basically allow you to just open up a portal and go back to reality, and go through the Technogate, end up back at Technogate Command.
Is there any
That was
obscure
heavy.
things on the list that
Did anyone want to speak to us before we head out?
They do like a debriefing with you, and I'm guessing that you guys all leave out everything about the communication, and you just talk about, depowering it.
I feel like
We
we
turned
should.
off the note like we were sent to.
Yeah, we should just drop the communication part, and
I
all
feel
the
like
rest
we should very generally say that. Well, no, never mind. I'm just throwing you under the bus more. I was gonna say, just to back up the argument I'd used earlier, we might want to just generally say Tycho shut it down, but we could just allude to I don't know, just so they don't do any double checking. I like what Phaedra was saying earlier, that like I think it's still too early to get
Just make
suspicion.
some emphasis on, like, we had a job, we finished the job that they ordered us to do first.
Yep.
And it was our job first. So we're doing our job.
I don't handle new orders well in the middle of a job. It's hard to verify.
Yeah, I believe we should include the fact that we were contacted to turn it over, and we're like, well, these are orders from the same, contradicting orders from the same place, so we're just going to go with ours. and then we did it. So, good.
And we're going to continue until it's finished.
We'll see.
Like,
We'll see what kind of response we get, but yeah, I think we should go with that.
And in
How
the
do you guys feel
meanwhile-
about the paradox backlash? I feel like we have to mention that because it was a thing that they
No.
probably saw it happen in the digital web from wherever they monitored the digital
Well, we
web
undid
from.
time.
No, like I feel like the only person who would know that we did that was the computer itself because it logs stuff like that. We don't have to say anything. It's not alive. You don't say anything.
But if Control is specifically watching, like let's pretend it has a really high interest in what we're doing, and it's just specifically watching, and it happened to be watching the feed when that went off. I think we should mention it. The only thing we should drop is the communication.
No, if they don't bring it up, it didn't happen.
I mean, paradox is a crazy thing. Who's to say that we even remember it?
They don't ask me what happened. I ain't saying jack shit. What are you talking about?
Yeah, what
We
would
finished our mission. That was it.
what did that look like from our perspective? The ship got all weird, and then we did a whole bunch of stuff, and then all of a sudden the ship's fine. Like, do we understand that of what no, the whiteout was the thing that we know. We remember that happening.
Yeah,
Right?
you remember
Sure.
getting you remember the sector turning into a big giant black hole. So
I have to assume that that's the thing that happens every once in a while, even in like labs and shit, when they got a couple of masters working together to do something crazy.
I see it every once in a while.
I feel
Somebody
like-
in the
I
lab
feel-
implodes because
Some experimental blowback.
I mean, like shit, we should even just give them like what we were trying to do. Like, this is what we were building, and it went wrong. And just because it was just for a card for the thing to get us into the node, like it was all just in process of doing the task.
No,
I think that we don't need to lie about that. Like, what?
I feel
shame?
like don't
That's
tell
not a
on
bad
yourself if no one asks you anything. Why-
Is there shame in paradox?
Why would you tell your mom you stole a cookie when she didn't even know?
We didn't even steal a cookie. It was more like we were allowed to get a cookie. We went to get one, and we just accidentally dropped the jar.
Yeah, but we
Hey.
cleaned it up, and there's nothing happened. Mom does not know. Why are you telling on yourself?
Because mom might not know, and not telling on yourself.
We're not sure if those security cameras mom and dad installed are on yet.
They might be. Are they? They could be. If they are, and we don't say anything. If
You're
they're
an
not,
annoying little brother. You know that, right?
hey, I'm just saying.
Stop snitching and get the back.
I'm just saying low-level deceptions can be, especially when they are compounded, are just as bad as
Malakai.
one high one. And we should have just went in that goddamn portal if we're gonna be lying to them.
You're making
kind
a
of- it is
mountain
kind of
out
a
of
good
a
point.
molehill.
It is kind of a good point, though. Like, if we don't want to draw any type of attention, every chance that we have, we should be telling the truth and the full truth.
But
I mean,
again,
we can
why you
downplay it
telling
to a
on
point.
yourself when they didn't even ask you for that information? It could just backfire and make it worse.
What if they do know and they're waiting to see if we tell them?
Do you think that's the worst of our problems right now? Do you understand what we're thinking about doing? Can we just go about our business? I have things to clean at my house. I don't got time for
What's
this.
the
And if we
downside
get
to
put
us
on
telling
house
them?
arrest,
I
I'm
will
if we
say,
get
Well,
I will say, okay, one thing I want to clear up is that it is the digital web. It's not as big of a deal, and nothing bad kind of happened out of it. I'd probably leave out the crazy trip that you guys did.
Yeah.
But like, that you experienced some crazy, like I'd just gloss over that stuff, because that kind of will get you flagged as a little reality deviant.
Well, that's my question: is like, what is the risk to
yeah,
us telling
yeah.
them some of this?
The only
Yeah.
risk that you have is just being flagged more as like reality deviants. And you guys are on that level right now, but I mean, you are also one of the things that they think can only like really handle this, and you've kind of proven that stuff to a certain degree, because the other ones weren't going to be able to get through even if they got Mr. Smith. Like I said, there was another barrier of stuff that you had to worry about than just using admin codes to break through.
Oh my God, was I right about Tycho?
That wasn't just a lie I made up.
Feels so much better when
Well, no,
it turns out that you didn't lie.
We had to tell the computer the truth about why we did those things. That's what's got us through. The other guys presumably got punished.
Oh yeah, because we stitched on them.
Oh.
They were the first people we stitched on. I wonder if they're back yet.
Been a night of that.
Well, no, they probably just got banned from
From
The game for a little
Yeah.
while, yeah.
I mean,
But we completed their task for
or
them.
they could have put them on like timeout or detention where they had to sit in that room for a day.
That would have been.
felt like a
I just
Um,
is there a social context in the Technocracy for like people who have a lot of paradox or paradox backlashes? Like, is that a thing that exists?
So I'll have to research it a little bit more, but all the research that I have done kind of points to the Technocracy kind of denying the existence of paradox, and it's all coincidental, like, as to why crazy shit happens when new advanced technology is being used. So
Okay, if I should know that because I've spent a couple of years in the service of the Technocracy before I got into Technogate. Knowing that, I'm now on board with Phaedra. We don't mention it. We'd say that it went wrong, and then it's fine. Like, we made some adjustments and it worked. Because it'll be easier to explain in reports for the higher ups. They don't suddenly have to try to explain away a paradox incident to us. It's going to double the debriefing time. Is it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
It makes a mess out of everything, and I've got like possibly a week. I would prefer 2 weeks of downtime, but I could get away with a week. I have a lot of things I have to tie up just in case things go south.
That's fair.
So
dude, you need to go meditate at a Buddhist monastery for the next, like, do nothing but meditate for the next.
yeah, I need a vacation. That's what I've been vying for. I have assistants who can do half the shit I need.
So I would at least in whatever write up I'm doing for missions, would like to use the terminology to signify a paradox issue, but then write down that it actually was nothing. It's something that I would like to draw from my past, but I guess it's open to interpretation.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I mean, the debriefing is since you guys accomplished your mission, and everything kind of they let you kind of buy, and the person that does your debriefing, of course, is the major, or the general, and he apologizes for the MIB coming in and trying to usurp the mission, and that was something that came directly from Control after you guys had been sent on the mission, and felt that it was he felt that it was a test of Control. So he does believe that Control is getting a little bit suspicious of your guys' actions. But you guys have completed the task, which is the most important part, and that you guys will be going on the next mission. The next mission is the next node that they had found seems to be located in a place that seems very similar to the concept of the Judeo-Christian heaven.
Well, hell.
You got your vacation.
So like our version of heaven where like there's cute angels and cupids with wings and stuff, or like the biblical version of heaven where there's like wheels and stuff.
It more biblical and kind of crazy.
Oh, that's terrifying. I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm going to refuse to believe angels are anything other than beautiful women with wings until I get there. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's more like four-headed abominations that I'm fascinated to dissect.
The way
I
that the Technocracy kind of explains it is that there is a realm of thought out there that kind of builds off of the dreams and belief structures of people, that exists in deep outer space and like another reality, and this is kind of this construct that is created out of the belief structures of people on Earth, but really is just a fantasy realm that is just, similar to the dreaming.
End of this campaign, we're gonna have Phaedra's deviant menagerie.
Just have a zoo in my basement filled with mythical creatures.
Give everybody get 5 experience points, and there's no time limit on having to do that, and they are searching for the other 2, and believe that they have some beating some leads on what's happening or where one might be in the underworld, or in the dark umbra. And then there is one on Earth as well that is being tracked down.
This is cool.
Earth sounds so easy after all this.
I mean, we're going to heaven. I mean, like the human adaptation and belief
Yeah.
structure of heaven. But we could probably see the Garden of Eden. That'd be cool.
I can finally find out whether, at least according to
Human
people's
belief.
manifestation of this place, it was a fig or an apple.
Ooh. That's
Well,
cool. Or if like what do the trees actually look like?
My understanding of
I have to bring the
biblical
camera.
angels, you just keep drawing wings and eyes.
Yeah,
is
basically. And
the important bit.
rings within rings.
It depends on which tier of angel
True.
it is. Like, I guess the low tier ones are the ones that supposedly look like humans, and then like the high tier ones are like a wheel within a wheel.
So Michael is he's all very non-human.
No, Michael's a
Michael's number
human.
2,
He's
right?
he's bottom tier.
I thought Michael was number
Weirdly,
2.
weirdly, Metatron, who was human and was the only person not to die and get taken up as an angel or something like that, he became like a big ass dude. He's like the scribe of God.
All right. Well, I love this lore. This is
Yeah.
proper lore.
I should read more of this Christian mythology.
Yeah,
I
Gabriel and
surprisingly-
Michael and all those wonderful people were just supposed to look pretty for us to like not go insane from talking to.
I thought that they had a special thing where basically, like that the ringed angel, where you look at them and it should be horrifying, except that you don't feel that because you're looking into a chunk of the presence of God, something like that.
Yeah, it's
And
the
so it's actually
Cupids
just it
don't
feels really
look like
good.
Cupid people, and the wheels were there to protect them as they guarded the Garden of Eden. On that note, I have to go.
Yeah, I gotta get going too.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, good game, guys. Make sure you record your I said 5 experience, right?
Yep.
Awesome. So yeah, 5 experience, and great job. And then we'll pick it up. You guys have definitely allowed it a good amount of downtime. You guys can decide on how much you want to use, because at this point in time, also, the more time that you use, the more options will open up for you. You don't have to go to heaven. You can also wait to go to hell, or quote unquote, the underworld. Or because that'll be located pretty soon. They think that's going to be within a week or 2, and then the one on Earth they also think will be uncovered in a week or 2. So you might have options next week, especially
Cool.
if you drag it out. You'll definitely have options. So
I'll be honest. The one on Earth scares me the most. It's like the normal sized boss. It's like a huge ass boss that takes up the entire screen is fine to look at. It like, okay, I can beat this guy. But like
Yeah.
when he's the same size as you, it's terrifying. And I feel like it being on Earth in our world is itself going to. It's probably has some freaking rank of paladins that's got to protect it with their lives or some shit. I don't know. It's just seems like that would have been the first one we did.
Good night, peep and peepettes. I'm outie.
Good night, everybody.
Have a good
Yeah,
night. Thank you
well,
all
we're
for
still on
watching.
screen.
Thank you for
Yeah.
being. Yep, we're still on.
Good game. It was a good game. Good
Good
game.
Yep.
All right,
Thanks.
ending.